Don't mind me, just eating some fruit. Some good old cantaloupe. Makes me wonder, can down in the underground, can they grow some fruit? Because if they can, the way things are going on here, where I'm at, what the world's going through, I just might as well be isekai and join the world of Gachiakuta, man. Being so serious. Hey guys, what is up? We're back with another week of Gachiakuta, okay? And last week's episode, we had the introduction of two characters, well-known characters making up a certain group within the cleaners. Under Engine, we were introduced to Zenka, who is going to be Rudo's mentor. Of course, Shiz was hit the ceiling, pun intended, and also quite literally on it, even though it wasn't the ceiling, it was more so on Zanka. Okay, he and Rudo is going to take a little bit of a while to kind of get along with each other, but they do give like older brother younger brother relationship where one provokes the other, and then one charges after the other with a plunger full of feces, that type of stuff. And then we were introduced to one of the best girls in the series, Riyo. Okay, I'm telling you, anime only, so you're gonna end up loving her character. And now Rudo is on his way to the cleaners to be introduced and go through the steps to becoming an official janitor. And then it'll be one more step closer to finding a way on how to get back to the sphere to enact his revenge plan. Okay, but of course more shenanigans will follow. So without further ado, let's get into Gachiakuta episode 4. She's still playing with his hair. We're just like, who's playing with my hair? Oh my gosh, she's touching my hair. Ooh. Looking pretty cool. I could have sworn that was a bug crawling, and I was like, oh. Gosh dang. She is the reason why I got into this series. Oh, to hear her voice. Oh. To finally hear her voice. To hear saying, oh my god. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, she saw something. Mm-hmm. Yep, yep. Oh yes, yes. Look at my son. Look at my son. Mm-hmm. That's my son right there. Aside from Bruno. He was gonna do that. Yep. uh, just so y'all know, this man is an enigma. Even in the manga, yeah, he's an enigma. You don't know nothing about this man. Like I can't even give spoilers if I even if I wanted to. You don't know nothing about him. Mm-mm. As he should. Is it what? Short circuiting. Oh my god. He's not that dumb. Yep. Mm. He survived longer than that. He did. When he first dropped down, he survived longer than 15 minutes. Longer than 15, that's what exactly I will tell you. Of course. Why you gotta turn his hand like that? Jesus. I know he has a strong grip, but like then you had to turn his whole hand to shake. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm. But still not very smart, yeah. Not her being like, yo, we gonna throw a party, bro, while you have hordes of these trash beaks coming at you. Yeah. Keep you cool. Mm-hmm. Boy, put on your mask. Just so you know, to be a cleaner, you gotta be a little crazy though. Yeah. Or Rio's just one of the exception that she's a little crazy. But that's why we love her. Yeah. Now it's gonna be so. Oh, I need to see her in action. Yeah. Don't remember how that one got behind him though. Please put on your mask. Yeah. Nah, I really need to see her go all, bro. Yeah. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Who's this I'm hearing? He sounds mad familiar. By the way, this character is called Folo. Folo. Yes. Yeah. He doesn't have quite the grasp on it as of yet. Yo, it looks sick. I'm not gonna lie. It's one thing to see it in the manga, but it looks so sick. Oh. Please put on your mask. Not her, yo, she is literally having a ball for this, bro. Like, oh my god. It's a little rough for my boy right now. Oh, yeah, yeah. Vital instrument. Mm. No way. No way. No. It was this early? All right. So this episode wasn't crazy. It was more so showing Rio and that she is a little crazy. Like she's talking about having a cool head and everything, but like, bro, to live in a world which is surrounded by nothing but trash, even if they say keep a cool collected head, you do have to be kind of a little in crazy. Okay? Because here's the thing, you live in certain spots, right? That's basically habitable for humans. They don't have to deal with the trash or the toxins of the falling trash or anything. That they have those other zones where it's no man zones, where it's nothing but trash beast and like all the toxins and everything. But the problem with that now is the hubs that humans are living in can also be infiltrated by the trash beast, right? Because you can see clearly on the map like that. That's not far, too much of a far distance. Hence why they have to send the cleaners out so that they don't, one, to keep the area clear, and two, so that way trash beasts don't try to come where they're living at. It feels like freaking Attack on Titan when they were building up the walls and stuff, and until the Titans came crashing in. But there's that, because think about it, the mentality of people down there, like how Engine is saying that, like, to get information you have to give something, you have to, it's like a bargain system type of thing, and if not, then it's too bad. Every man, woman, and child for themselves in a way. Of course, there is some laws and rules that you do have to implement so people can follow by that. But this is not the most ideal situation anybody really wants to be in. Now, for Rudo, now his, as you can clearly see, his obviously, and that tells you for every other giver there is, the stronger the emotions, but also it does tie into these the psychological viewing of that individual. So depending on how that person is psychologically, or how they're feeling, depending on their emotions, that dictates on how their jinky, or their vital instrument, can be used, constructed, right? In this case for Ruda's, we clearly saw he froze on the spot, and then he's overthinking and putting so much pressure on himself that, like, when he went to go use that metal pipe, there's like a correlation between the image you have in your head and what you want the item to become, right? So there is that. They're not going to explicitly tell you, but you do see it through visuals and symmetry and all that stuff. Riyo, best girl. Seimu, like I said before, I said it during the opening. If you see on YouTube, obviously it's the edited version, but Seimu is the reason why I got into this series, okay? And to hear her finally see how cool she is, and of course she noticed something about Rudo that of course Engine realized something is very off, because why she acted like that. They're going to go into details for that, which will come up in the upcoming episodes, so I'm not going to tell you exactly what's going on. The boss now, it's not really spoilers per se, because even manga readers are still trying to understand who the boss is in this series. He's literally an enigma. Like, we don't know nothing about him, okay? We don't know nothing. We, the viewers, don't know nothing about him. The characters in the story don't know nothing about him, okay? But he is the boss. He is the leader of the cleaners, okay? And there's a reason why all of these people follow after him. Of course, we did see more givers when Engine went to go try to introduce Rudo. Of course, there are several. Of course, manga readers do not give no spoilers for any of them. I did say one of them is my son. The one with the pacifier, that's my other son. That's my son in the series, bro. It's a cool kid. Cool kid. There are a lot of, actually, there's a lot of cool kids in the series, you know. But it's understandable why Rudo, because the thing is, he never had to really use these powers until then, until he got down to the ground. And it's still very new for him to understand his abilities, because it's not like he was training with them or had to deal with them at a very young age. It was more of like he was in a crisis, being dumped down to the grounds, dealing with several trash beasts, and then that's the first time he's ever used his abilities and everything. So it's going to be a learning curve for him. Of course, like Samuel said, Rudo is abnormally physically strong, but in terms of his abilities, he still has work to go about with it. But I will say this, him being on the field is a good way of understanding what the cleaners have to do on a daily basis to protect humans on the ground. Now, showing the trash beasts, we all know each trash beast has a core, their anemia, right? Everything come together to create this trash beast. From the toxins and everything, all that sort, is what create the trash beast. What made this particular trash beast so unique is that it didn't have an anima. It had a jinky, right? This is one of the mysteries that's going to lead up to, and like I said, depending on how they adapt this series, we could end off like chapter anywhere between probably in the late 50s, early 60s, right? But it is important information about the vital instrument that created that trash beast, which I won't explain to you until that episode actually drops. But of course, no spoilers, but this is very unique, and it ties into what is going to happen later in this. Like, I'm trying so hard not to, you know, because I want to get more information, but I'm trying to keep my mouth closed for anime onlys, because there are a lot of mysteries in the world of Gachiakuta, okay? On givers, on Rudo, his abilities, like several characters in this series as well. Like, it's a lot, and it's very hard to not say more than what I can say, but I'm doing it for your sake, so you guys don't get spoiled and the story gets ruined for you, as someone that's been reading the manga for a little bit. But definitely showcasing Rio's skill, and she's a crazy fighter. She's a unique fighter because, again, like they say, when you have scissors, you use your hands. She uses her feet. That's unorthodox, okay? She different. She a different breed, okay? And I feel like a lot of people are going to enjoy Rio's character more and more as the series goes by. At least those who are watching the anime, you're going to end up enjoying seeing her character and everything. But, overall, another decent animated episode. I just found out who voiced Folo. Okay? I feel like anime onlys may start off not liking him, but eventually, just like manga readers, or unless they were already a fan of Folo, you'll end up liking him. But that probably won't be till like season 2, 3. Probably not this season, but probably this later seasons, if this is greenlit for later seasons and everything. But I found out his voice actor is the same one who did Isagi from Blue Lock. And I know when that scene happens, all I'm going to hear is Isagi. All I'm going to hear is Isagi being ruthless. We know how Isagi is. This series has no correlation, but the voice actor who voices Isagi, alright? Oh my god. I'm gonna wait till that day happens. That is going to be hilarious. It is going to be hilarious. So, we basically got another mystery. Again, a Jinki was used to create a trash beast, when usually it's never been the case ever. So that's something to search about. And also what Seimu saw about Rudo that had her going, okay. And obviously the boss of the cleaners. That's another. Of course, there's going to be more topping on top of these things. And obviously trying to understand, for Rudo to understand what his powers entail and how to actually utilize them, right? So anime onlys, do tell me in the comment section below and how you felt about this week's episode of Gachiakuta, episode 4. Manga readers, as I always state, no spoilers, but how do you feel about this episode versus the chapters? It was adapted from, I believe, chapters 7 to 9 or something of that sort. So they probably adapt like anywhere between 2 to 3 chapters. But the end of the episode, oh, anime onlys, you're not ready for this, dude. All I'm saying is y'all not ready for this guy. Oh, I can't wait to see him fully animated. Yeah. I'm gonna just let y'all, this is a devious light skin. That's all I gotta say, bro. Devious light skin. But no spoiler, but do tell me how you felt about the chapters versus the episode versus the chapter adapted from. The links are in the description box, so you guys go check it out. And I'm Kimmy-chan, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.